Okay, so I couldn't wait to hook up the monster rotor here, um, but I screwed up. I made the gap between the two bearing holders, which have the ceramic bearings in there, too narrow, so I couldn't fit the coil I wanted to use. So I broke out one of my older Bedini coils that has I don't know if you guys remember back in the day when John Bedini said you had to make your coils, you had to use welding rod, chopped up welding rod in there for the iron core. And I don't think I've ever used an iron core with the JL94 circuit. So what I did was, because this is a Bedini circuit, I jumped the start positive and the start negative. So this is now one winding, basically. And I'm going to try it with the Bedini circuit next, but I was curious to see if it would work with this little coil with the iron winding. Again, remember, this is that big rotor that has the 6 bar magnets in there. They're 4 inches long by ½ inch by ½ inch, I think, yeah. And so I wanted to see if that would work. And I'm happy to say, once I give it a little help, there's the load right there, the 12-volt LED. It works pretty good. It makes a rattling sound because I put washers in there, which I probably shouldn't have. But it's really smooth on the ceramic bearings. And again, this is not a very big coil. And I always thought that I needed a big coil to run this circuit, my new favorite circuit, the JL94 and JL93. So one is a trigger, the other one's a run. I'm assuming that's how it works. And it's working fine. So the next one I'm going to try, and then of course this is the same rig. Remember I told you I wanted, if you guys had watched earlier, I wanted to build a rig where I can test multiple setups. I'm still in the setting up, testing phase. I plan to use those super caps to run things and charge the other set of super caps I got over there. Where are they? There they are, over there. But it's working good. The chips are remaining nice and cool because of the load over here, which I don't know if it shows up on the video, but it's really bright. So I could probably run multiple strips off of this setup. And then I finished, I gotta be careful with this guy. I finished this one, which I'm gonna try next. These are 2.5-inch ring disc magnets. And these are really strong. I believe these are N52s. And again, I had to put this barrier on here because you can see the crack there. I wasn't entirely confident in the what you call it. But this guy runs pretty steady. Let's see how low I can get it going. So there's 9 volts. It's still catching. It almost stopped then. I heard it. Let me see if I can get it going a little bit lower. It's still catching. There's 9.1 volts. 8.7, still catching. You can tell that's flickering a little bit, but it's still catching. Let's see how low I can go. There's 8.188 volts, 8.1. Still catching. That's amazing, especially for this coil. Let's see how low I can go here. 7.8 volts. Oh, it's almost given up the ghost. It's still catching though. And this is an old coil. This coil is like 12 years old. And it was meant for a Bedini circuit, not for this circuit. But like I said, I jerry-rigged it. All right, let's see. 6.9 volts. Whoa. It's still going, still catching. So probably not less than 7 volts, 6.5 volts. Still catching. Damn. 6.2 volt. Wait a minute. 6.1 volts. Still going. It is slowing down, but it's still catching. It's not free spinning. I don't think I can go much lower than that. Let's see. 5.5 volts, and it's still catching at 0.08 amps. It looks like it's gonna give it up. I don't think I can go much lower than 5.2 volts. Still going. 5 volts. That's amazing. Oh, it's struggling though, but it's still going. All right, I'm gonna call it 5 volts. Now I don't think I can start it on 5 volts and it will go. Well, maybe. Let's try. Yeah, starting on 5 volts. I don't know why it's making that horrendous sound like that. Must be because of the iron core. I think there's a lot of vibration going on. Because again, normally you don't run this circuit with an iron core. That's crazy. All right, I don't want it to freak out. That is crazy. All right, and then I still got this guy over here. Gotta love those bearings, man. They run forever. So we know that it will run. So basically, I know it'll run on the Bedini circuit. I know it'll run on the Hall effect. I'm just amazed that it did it off of this coil. It's been my limited experience that in order to run this circuit, you need a decent coil, like a Sky Collection coil, like that one. Not some crappy coil I built for a crazy Bedini motor years ago. But yeah, this thing runs beautifully. See if I can get the lights to go. Yeah. Little back EMF. Actually, I don't think that's back EMF. That's off of the board itself, because that's DC current. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Ciao.